Hey guys, Kimmy Vapes here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a review on the Eleaf Tessera kit, which was provided to me by Vape Sourcing for the purpose of this review. Let's have a vape, go down below, see what comes in the kit, and then I'll give you my thoughts and opinions on it. Okay, and here is the Eleaf Tessera with LOTS starter kit. So here's the packaging that I received my Tessera kit in. There's the front of the box. And the back of the box there just shows the contents of the box. You have your warnings there. And then over here you have your scratch and check for authenticity. Let's go ahead and open the box. And here you'll see at the top here you have the Tessera mod, the LOTS tank, and a spare glass. Below the top tray you'll find another tray, and underneath that is where you will find your accessories for your LOT tank, including spare gaskets, O-rings, a different shaped drip tip, a spare coil head, and your LOTS quick start guide for the tank, full assembly, disassembly, and filling, as well as the user manual for your Eleaf Tessera mod. Take the LOTS sub-ohm tank out first. So the Eleaf LOTS sub-ohm tank does take the HW coil heads that previous Eleaf sub-ohm tanks also take. The dimensions on the tank are 50.5 millimeters tall by 25 millimeters in circumference. It is a slide open top fill system. So here you'll see there is a small caret icon or triangle icon that you'll push backward, and that will reveal the fill port, which is lined with a silicone gasket, and then you just slide that back and it automatically pops into place. It is dual airflow adjustment, so it has an airflow on each side. And it does have a locking airflow ring. The drip tip that's included seems to be a black Delrin 810 TFV8 style drip tip. Now I have been vaping on this for the past couple of weeks, so there is a bit of e-liquid in the tank and a coil head that I've been using. Now I don't vape on this as my sole mod. It is in a rotation with a couple of mods, which is why I think I've been able to vape on the same coil head for a little over 2 weeks now. But to give you a better idea, I have refilled this tank 5 times, and this tank holds 4 milliliters of e-liquid. So 20 milliliters I have passed through this coil head, and it seems still to be going pretty well. Now the e-liquid that I have been using is the Cassandra's Key Lime, which is a fairly sweet juice, but it's not high on sweeteners, so it does okay on coils. It doesn't gunk them up too quickly. And also just to note real quick, in the package it states that it will come with a 2 ml glass and then a 4 ml glass. I noticed that with mine there is no difference in the glasses, so it looks like I have 2 4 ml glasses that came in my box. So I'm not sure if that's the way it'll be on retail packaging, or if in the UK they'll include that 2 ml glass, since I do know over in the UK you guys have the TPD, which limits your take sizes to 2 ml. And as far as the finish on it, the finish looks beautiful. I did have an oopsie moment. I dropped the the whole mod and tank on a carpeted cement floor from about 3.5 foot from my desk to the floor, and the only damage that I found was just a small little scratch to the paint here on the edge where that is likely the impact. But as far as it didn't dent it or anything, I just noticed a tiny little ding in the paint. So as far as the paint job goes, it may or may not hold up depending on how rough you are. I don't really expect many paint jobs to hold up to dropping them on cement and hard surfaces. But as far as daily use, sitting on my desk, rolling around, which I'll go ahead and show you the mod, the paint, the fit and finish on this is gorgeous. Very high sheen, beautiful cherry red color, and as you can see on the bottom there are no scuff marks, which is usually an indication of a fairly good paint job, at least for me. I find that's the first place that my mods start to wear is on the bottom, from sitting them down on surfaces and them rubbing around. So paint still looks pretty good. So let's go ahead and get right into the mod. This is the Eleaf Tessera, which is a 150 watt mod. It has a 1.45 inch TFT color display with an RTC, which is real-time clock. So you can see right now it's in power off mode, and there is a clock displayed. And whenever the mod is powered off, you can click the sidebar and it will show your clock for a couple seconds, and you also can adjust the amount of time in the menu system, how long that clock will display for. So it includes an all-new UI system with 5 color themes to choose from. The dimensions on the mod is 42 millimeters by 30.5 millimeters by 82.5 millimeters. It has a built-in 3400 mAh battery. It has max 2 amp charging and upgrade capable USB port. Eleaf says that it has dual circuit protection for both software and battery for overcharge protection. So that means that when you're charging your mod, you have 2 safety systems in place to prevent fire or faulty circuits when the mod may overheat while charging or anything. There are protections built in for that. The mod fires from 0.05 to 1.5 ohm in temperature control, and it will fire down to a 0.1 ohm coil all the way up to a 3.5 ohm coil in variable wattage mode. It comes with the available colors of silver, black, red, green, and rainbow color. So let's go ahead and take a look at the menu system. So 5 clicks, of course, to turn it on. And right away you see I have my color theme to red to match the mod. I think when I opened it, it was a aquamarine color, and I just felt like that wasn't matching enough for me. So I changed the color theme to red. Now here is where it gets into the new menu system that Eleaf was talking about. Also, I just want to note real quick before we get into the menu system, how different is this from Eleaf as far as the design here? You have a very geometric pattern type design here, and it's also on the back of the mod you have this geometric design. So I thought that was really different coming from Eleaf. They've always been a very sleek, ergonomic, kind of all one colorway through their mods, and this with this new larger screen and this geometric pattern. Also, you'll notice here there is what they're calling an FN button, which would be your function button, and then your wattage up and your wattage down buttons. I really like the classy kind of new style geometric pattern here, and very nice in the hand. So back to the menu system. It went to sleep on me here. Okay, so as you can see, the menu, the screen is pretty bright. It's very easy to see in the sunlight. The plastic, of course, here, this is plastic screen, is a fingerprint magnet, and I will also say I already have some scratches, though they don't show up on camera very well. I do have some scratches on that plastic screen, but I am still able to read my screen, no problem at all. So to go into the menu system, you can 3 clicks of the mod, and then you'll use your toggle buttons to select. So whatever is selected is white and the other is red. Then to select that option, you'll click your FN button, which is that small little triangular button. And then from there you will see you can go from power mode. Oops, you gotta be quick. From there you can go from power mode, RTC, which is real-time clock, TC, which is temperature control, nichrome, TC in titanium, TC in stainless steel, TCR, which is your customs, and you have 3 of those custom TRs you can set, and then back to power mode. To exit out of that, you'll just click your fire button. You can go over to set, and that is where you can lock the resistance of your coil. ENU is the dual circuit protection. I have that set as on, but there is an option to set that as off, though I don't ever recommend turning that off since that is protection during charging. Go back into there. Then of course you have your power, which you'll be able to adjust in temperature control mode. You have subpara, your clock, where you can set your clock, your preheat, your timeout, and of course then exit. And then here you can go to colors, and that is where you'll choose the different color themes. And then of course you can hit the FN button to exit back out. And then info will just show you the version of the firmware that is on the chip. So back to the main screen. So if you don't want to go through the menu system, there is a quick access function. You click the function key and hold it down, and it will automatically toggle from power to temperature control to real-time clock. So this is the real-time clock, and where the real-time clock is, it takes and puts your clock at the top instead of having your wattage at the top, and then your wattage, your coil resistance, all of that is in smaller letters. If you want to change into temperature control, hold the button again, it'll automatically go into temperature nichrome, hold it again, it'll go into titanium, hold it again, stainless steel, hold it again for 3 seconds, and you're back to power. Oh, sorry, you go through your TCRs and then back to power mode. Also, to prevent from adjusting your wattage, they also built in a very easy locking method to keep from pressing your wattage, and that is you just simply push the center FN button, and now it will not adjust your wattage, but you can still fire it. So there it is. That's the Eleaf Tessera and LOTS tank kit. Let's go back up top, have a vape on it, and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions. Okay, and that was an up and close look of the Tessera with LOTS tank kit. So I'll start with the tank. Pros first. Pro, I definitely like the slide open top fill. I like that it comes with a variety of the HW coils, which also were compatible with the previous LO tanks. So it's great that they stayed with the same coils. I always liked the coils. I think they were really good. Of course, I love that it's a 4 ml capacity tank, and it's also only 25 millimeters. So as far as footprint wise, it's going to fit on most of the mods that I have. Now let's talk about the cons of the tank. I only have one con for the LOTS tank, and I'll show it to you right now. I don't know if you guys can hear that very well, but it is loud. Not the loudest sub-ohm tank I've ever had. At least it doesn't whistle, but it is on the noisier side as far as sub-ohm tanks go. The airflow has a very hollow, deep sound to it, and I can adjust the airflow down to about halfway. And that quiets it a little bit. But if you're someone that likes the airflow wide open, you're gonna have to deal with that turbulent, low, hollow sound. Now, I will say that the airflow being loud does not deter me from using this tank, because the flavor on the HW2 coils, which is what I have in here, it's rated between 30 and 70 watts on their pamphlet, but I did notice that the 0.3 ohm coil head in here performs best at around the 45 to 55 watt range. Going any higher than that, I start to get more dry hits. Any lower than that, and I can feel some of the e-liquid spitting up because it's not getting hot enough to vaporize the e-liquid. So right now my sweet spot has been 48 watts on it, and the flavor has been wonderful. For a sub-ohm tank, this tank really does put out good flavor in my opinion. So now on to the mod. What do I think about the mod? Let's start with Pro is the new user interface that Eleaf came out with. I have to disclose right away that I am a fan of Eleaf products kind of as a throwback to when I very first started vaping. One of my first actual mods that I started using, or devices that I started using after journeying through a couple other smaller Cigalikes, was the Eleaf 20 watt mod, and it is what solidified that I was now a vapor and no longer a smoker. So I have a little special place in my heart for Eleaf. That being said, when you look at the Eleaf 20 watt, 50 watt, 30 watt, 40 watt, 100 watt, 200 watt, the interface was always the same. It was a button combination. You had to remember to press this button and that button to navigate through the menu system. And I won't say it wasn't user friendly, because once you memorize the button clicks, it was easy from there on. But memorizing button clicks can be difficult, especially if you're not only using one device. So the fact that Eleaf has put out this whole new user interface, which is very easy to navigate, the 3 clicks to go into the menu, and then you have each button as its own function there, the up and the down to toggle around the menu, and the function key to select and highlight different modes, I think is a wonderful step forward for Eleaf. I also like the quick function key there, where you can quickly toggle through if you want to go from power mode to temperature control, or you want to change your TCRs. You can do that with the click of one button. So I think that's really great. I enjoy the updated new look of Eleaf the Eleaf mod as well. Previously, again, Eleaf kind of had a signature look to them, and that most of their mods were rounded at either end of the mod. And this is a quite rectangular with a really nice geometric pattern on both the back, and then that is kind of mirrored in the front here with the screen design. I like the color screen. I like the layout of the screen. Now, as far as cons go, this is going to be a subjective con, and it's purely based on where I am today as a vapor. Today as a vapor, I don't find myself using internal battery mods much anymore. And one of the reasons that being for me is I'm a pretty heavy vapor. I vape a lot. And this 3400 milliamp hour battery just doesn't cut it for me. If I use this mod, which I've done during testing and getting ready for the review, I've used this mod solely, and this mod as a sole device only gets me through a few hours of my vaping day, and then I have to charge it. So the fact that it only lasts me a few hours makes me less likely to go out and pick up this mod, simply because it's an internal battery. Now, I will say, if you do like internal battery mods, I really love the UA protections that Eleaf have designed, which not only has safety protections on the board itself, but also on monitoring the batteries. So if you plug the device in to charge and it senses the temperatures of the battery raising, or the temperature of the board raising, it automatically cuts off USB charging. It no longer takes current through that USB, and I think that's really great. It's a great safety precaution that all internal battery devices should have, because as we know, while we say always keep your device near you when you're charging it, even if it's near you and you're awake and you're not charging it when you're sleeping, if something bad happens, it's still scary. It still can cause damage. So the fact that they put those protections in there, I think, is really great of Eleaf. Overall, I really am enjoying this device. I think it's a great device if you're just, if you're not worried about battery longevity. This is a great device for, having in your rotation. This will definitely stay in the rotation. I love this cherry red or candy apple red paint. I think the paint is going to hold up pretty well. Like I said, I have a little bit of paint scratching on the tank where it hit the cement, but the actual mod itself, the paint is holding up really well, and I look forward to using this more. So you guys, let me know in the comments what you think about the Eleaf Tessera kit. Also, just a real quick mention, I will include links down into the description to vapesourcing.com, who supplied me this for the review, where you can pick it up and buy it right now. So thanks again, you guys, for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed and you like what I do, hit that subscribe button. And if you are already subscribed, don't forget to hit the bell notification icon so that you'll get notified the next time I upload a video. Oh, and one more thing. Don't forget, my Patreon link will now be included in the description of all my videos. If you really like what I do and you want to go support me, there is a link to my Patreon where you can donate if you want. Thanks again, you guys. Bye-bye.